Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Khawateen Hazrat, now let us hear our guest of honor, Professor Tariq Mansoor Sahab. Most of us know him, but I will briefly say a few lines for the benefit of those who might be Aligarh ki Zaban mein juniors. Professor Tariq Mansoor is the Vice Chancellor of वो जगह जो हम सब के दिलों पर राज करती है, यानी Aligarh Muslim University, our very dear Aligarh Muslim University. Through a career of 37 years in the public sphere, he has distinguished himself by making contributions in the fields of education, medical and hospital administration, institution building, and most recently in the battle against COVID-19 pandemic. As Vice Chancellor, he has introduced several emerging areas of knowledge at AMU through introduction of new programs and centers such as the Paramedical College, the Institute of Pharmacy, the College of Nursing, the Cardiology Center and Cath Lab, the MBA in Hospital Management, Food Technology, Low Vision Aid Center in Ophthalmology, Artificial Intelligence, Robotic Engineering, Solar Energy, Biomedical Engineering, Entrepreneurship, Earthquakes Engineering, and Disaster Management, and the list goes on. It's a huge list, really. He played a crucial role in planning and affecting the intensification of the academic infrastructure and innovation systems at AMU, notably the conversion of 168 classrooms into smart classrooms, the project that was started during tenure of the then Vice Chancellor, General Zamuddin Shah Sahab. This made the campus fully Wi-Fi integrated with online learning resources, creation of a big repository, introduction of Moodle learning management systems, the tinkering lab in the engineering college, and of course, the incubation center, the entrepreneurial and incubation center, and of course, the Innovation Council. I'd like to add that AMU has been able to successfully transit to online teaching and learning through the pandemic because of the creation of this infrastructure. It's also heartening to note that Professor Tariq Mansoor Sahab has worked extremely hard and in very difficult times to maintain the rank of Aligarh Muslim University in the top 5 universities in India, as has been in the case of his predecessor as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you our dear Vice Chancellor, Professor Tariq Mansoor Sahab. Tariq Bhai.
Dr. Frank Islam Sahab, Mr. Ali Rizvi, and the members of the SSGSA team, Dr. Saif Sheikh and Mr. Wasiqul Islam, Dr. Rehan Bakri, and all others. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. It is good morning there in the United States and maybe good afternoon somewhere else also, because scholars from so many countries are joining this program. It is very difficult to speak after a Nobel laureate has spoken, and that too a Bengali, because you know the Bengalis, they are very good speakers and very much accomplished academicians and literary figures. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate Ali Rizvi Saab and his team of the Sir Syed Education Society of North America for running the SSGSA program in a successful manner and helping so many meritorious and needy students of their alma mater to attain higher education in various foreign universities. We are really thankful to you for this great work which you are doing. Now, I had told Ali Rizvi Saab that I will not speak on any specific topic. I will of course cover the alumni a little bit, but I will just give some general remarks about the Aligarh Muslim University and about the centenary and the achievements of Aligarh Muslim University and what is there for the future. So I will start with two quotations. One was given by Professor Chatterjee. Professor Chatterjee was a member of the inquiry committee which was appointed at the instance of the Government of India in 1961. He had observed Muslim University Aligarh, with its open door policy of admitting members of all communities and giving them opportunities to share fully in its residential and corporate life, is in a especially privileged position to foster that emotional integration which is essential for for the preservation of India's cultural and political unity. The other is quotation which I want to start with is was given by Sir Hamilton Gibbs, a French Orientalist, who characterized AMU College as the first modernist organization in Islam. The first modernist organization in Islam. To establish a modernist organization at that time was not an easy thing, and it required exemplary commitment, conviction, and sacrifice of some great persons under the leadership of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Because Sir Syed Ahmad Khan tried to change the thought process of the Muslim community from medieval thinking and approach to modern scientific thinking. And it was a very difficult task because at that time, the Muslims of India, they were hostile to the English language, English culture, in Christian religion. The Hindus, they were also hostile, but the Muslims, they were more hostile than the Hindus. So it was more difficult to change the mindset of the Muslims as compared to the Hindu community. He tried to do it and succeeded to a significant extent, and he established the AMU College in 1877, which was later on converted to Aligarh Muslim University. Actually, Aligarh Muslim University was not established in 1920. Aligarh Muslim University has been established in 1877 because AMU is the offshoot of the AMU College. So legally it may have been established in 1920, but otherwise, as a part of a movement, it was established in 1877 with the establishment of the AMU College. And the establishment of this university changed the economic, social, and political life of India, of British India at that time. It had a lot of political and other consequences. We will not go into all those things because some of them they were also controversial in the pre-partition days. The other thing which AMU has done, so that was the one great achievement of Aligarh Muslim University, changing the medieval thought process of the Muslim community from medieval period to modern scientific education. The other role of achievement of Aligarh Muslim University was its pioneering role in women's education. This I said yesterday also when in the Riyadh alumni meet. You'll be surprised to notice that perhaps for the AMU was the first university in the world whose first chancellor was a woman, Begum Sultan Jahan of Bhopal. The first lady of India, first Muslim lady of India, Begum Abda Ahmad, wife of President Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad, was also an alumnus of AMU. The first female chief minister of Assam, Mrs. Anwara Taimur, was also an alumnus of AMU. And the first Muslim female vice chancellor to become vice chancellor of Central University, Professor Najma Akhtar, who is presently vice chancellor of Jamia Millia, is also alumnus of Aligarh Muslim University. At this time, 35% of students in AMU they are females. And in some departments in life sciences, in postgrad courses, the majority of the students they are females. It is a great achievement. So when we remember Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, we should not forget the efforts of Sheikh Abdullah. We should not forget his efforts by remembering Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, because he did some great work for women education at a time when nobody ever thought of sending Muslim girls to a college or a university. So that was a great change. And our women's college, women's polytechnic, we have got a women's college, women's polytechnic, as all of you are aware. We have also a center for women's studies. And we have a career planning center for women also. We have also, on the eve of the centenary, we have also submitted a new proposal for an Institute of Professional and Occupational Studies for Women, costing 140 crores, and it is under consideration of the Education Ministry and the Prime Minister's office. Delivering the annual convocation address on 20th February 1949, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, India's first education minister, had observed, Sir Syed had established in Aligarh not only a college, but also an intellectual and cultural center. In time, with the progressive, spirit of the time, the center of the circle was Sir Syed himself, and he attracted around him some of the best intellectuals in the world. So these are some of the achievements of Aligarh Muslim University in the last 100 years. Another achievement of Aligarh Muslim University is its role in the freedom movement. It played an important role in the freedom movement. India during the 1920s saw the upsurge of mass protest and struggle to attain freedom. And Aligarh Muslim University played an active role and responded to the call of Mahatma Gandhi for national emancipation. Maulana Muhammad Ali, Shaukat Ali, known as Ali Brothers, Hakim Ajmal Khan, Mukhtar Ahmad Ansari, Hazrat Mohani, Raja Mahendra Pratap, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, Abdul Majid Khwaja, Dr. Zakir Hussain, Captain Abbas Ali Khan, a close associate of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Captain Abbas Ali Khan, were all nationalist leaders from Aligarh Muslim University, who were the prominent freedom fighters during non-cooperation movement and Khilafat movement, and subsequent struggles under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. So AMU has produced such great stalwarts of the freedom movement. Then another contribution of the Aligarh Muslim University is Alumni Network. We have got great alumni. One honorable and famous alumni is sitting here, and he'll be speaking after me, Dr. Frank Islam. We are very honored that we have such type of alumnus. Very proud. We have got other alumni also. We are also proud of them. But Dr. Frank Islam has maintained his touch and contact with the Aligarh Muslim University. That is the most important thing. You should be in touch with your parent institution. And he has made a great contribution to our faculty of management, to our department of mass communication, and many other departments in the university. We definitely have a magnificent and unique alumni network. And many people are jealous of our alumni network. When I was abroad in West Asia and in United Kingdom, people were very jealous of AMU people. Because they were saying, you always support each other. If one alumni, AMU person is there, he will bring 4 other alumni in that company or in that organization. So people, they're very jealous. And our alumni network is not only in the big countries, in the United States and in West Asian countries, but also in small countries like Brunei, Maldives, Mauritius, Singapore, Hong Kong, South Korea. Of course, we have great alumni network in all the Indian cities and the United States and West Asian countries and in Europe also. But to have active alumni networks in small countries is definitely unique. I think 1.5 years back, I was in Singapore in transit. I had gone to Indonesia on some offshore trip to the High Commissioner of Singapore, the Indian High Commissioner there, Mr. Javed Ashraf. He invited us. We were in transit for a few hours. He invited us to his house, and he told me that though he is himself not an alumnus of AMU, he said your alumni association in Singapore is the most active. Though it is, and they are doing such great social work. So this is what I'm saying. In small countries, our alumni network is very active. The alumni network was activated. It was existing earlier also, but when Professor P.K. Abdulaziz became the Vice Chancellor, he paid special attention to the alumni network because he was from Kerala. A lot of expatriates, they are from Kerala, they are in the country. He realized the potential of this. He visited the United States and other countries, established contact with the alumni. His work was carried forward by Lieutenant General Zamiruddin Shah, my predecessor. He did a lot to establish the alumni network. He established the Alumni Affairs Committee also and office also. And I am committed to further carry forward this interaction and collaboration with our alumni worldwide. And the alumni, they are doing great work under the chairmanship of Professor Sufyan Beg, who is the chairman of our Alumni Affairs Committee. We have also published a World Alumni Directory, which we are going to release in a few days' time. Though it is not a complete thing, but it is a good beginning because it is a city-wide directory. So if somebody wants to see the alumni in the United States, he will go to New York or he'll find all of them. Or he will go to Washington. So it is a city-wise and country-wise directory. The alumni are helping us in many ways by instituting scholarships, and your scholarship program is also one of the examples of that, which Mr. Ali Rizvi and his team are doing this great work. They are also helping us in infrastructure development, in academic development, and we also have a Aligarh Academic Enrichment Program in which the foreign alumni, they act as resource persons for various departments and centers. In a nutshell, I will say that the alumni, they are our brand ambassadors. They are our goodwill ambassadors. The reputation of the university worldwide is dependent upon the work and the image of the alumni because they are in contact with this civil society in various countries and not the present students of AMU or the present staff of AMU. They are confined still to the campus. So like all great institutions, we are proud of our alumnus. Now, what we are supposed to do in the future, this is regarding the past. Now, the Muslim community in India is 200 million strong. The educational needs of the Muslim community, they cannot be satisfied by AMU. In the 90s and early 90s, it was all right. In 1910 or maybe 15, when people from all over the elite, they used to come to Aligarh Muslim University. And there were very few universities like AMU or VHU or Lahore University or Calcutta University. At that time, it was Calcutta only, not Kolkata. And Bombay University and Madras University. Now we have got hundreds of universities in India. So the Muslim community requires thousands of schools, hundreds of colleges, and dozens of universities. AMU can act as a catalyst. It can act as a role model. It can act as a facilitator. for education of the Muslims. It has to take the best Muslim students, and it must take the best faculty. We have started this process. Recently, we have had selection committees. We have selected a lot of teachers from outside who are having foreign exposure, who are working in the Middle East. So we have tried to make a beginning in this, and I'm sure the fruits will be there in the near future. Recently, only last month we have selected about 7-8 persons who are working in Saudi Arabia or in UAE or in other West Asian countries, in France also, but who are all having exposure to American universities or European universities. So though they were working in Saudi Arabia, but earlier they have worked abroad. And they had PhD degrees from various American universities or European universities. Then AMU has to do some other things also. It has to lead the community in facing new challenges and issues. Challenges will always come on the way, and it must lead the community in these issues also. And we must face adversity in the same way as Sir Syed Ahmad Khan had faced adversity. After the mutiny was crushed, or the first freedom struggle was crushed in 1857, he had converted that adversity into opportunity. So we must learn to work in adverse circumstances. We have to follow the path of modernity, flexibility, pragmatism as shown by our founder Sir Syed. And we must work to strengthen our democratic, multi-pluralistic fabric in India. Political differences will always be there, and it will be there in a democracy. You see, so many political differences are there in the United States also. In India also, they must be there. But there should not be social schism. Social fragmentation should not be there. That will be detrimental to the country and to the society as a whole. So we all have to work together with the various organizations, with the government of India, with the various state governments, with the various organizations. All of us have to work together in so many ways. And politics is nothing static, it is always a dynamic process. It is always it always keeps changing. But our democracy and our way of life, they are very important. See what has happened in the United States. Things have changed so fast. So it is the systems which are very important in a country. And we have to strengthen our institutions, with our democratic institutions, and we have to work with everybody, with all the organizations, with all the political parties, with people of all ideologies. Because communication is the best method of working. So I once again congratulate Professor Ali Rizvi Saab and his team for organizing this convention. And I'm sure the deliberations will benefit all of us. And I'm very much looking forward to hearing Dr. Frank Islam, because he released the newsletter, and then we are looking forward of having his views also on this important occasion and on the eve of the centenary of the Aligarh Muslim University. Thank you so much. Khuda Hafiz. But I'm here. I'm not going.
Thank you, Professor Tariq Mansoor Sahab, for that inspiring speech and a wonderful coverage of the entire AMU and its past history and the future projections. You are right. We all have to be in connect with the university and give our best to our great alma mater. And now let's